And well, you probably know that from being from Brazil, 94, it's a huge point of interest
Mm.
for obvious reasons for Senna and from being the same weekend where Barrichello had that huge crash. So I'm trying to be brief on that, but I had to ask some questions, which will
Sure.
be um, this is probably one of the most turbulent years in Formula One history, probably rivaled only by 1982, which was a stormy one too. But
Hmm.
if you when 94 comes to mind, being you one of the people that was closest to the center of the storm without being the ones involved in the accident, actually, what comes to mind after all these years?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was tough for us, obviously, because Roland was a teammate and part of the team and part of the motorsport fabric. Obviously, you talked about Ruben's accident prior to that, and then Ayrton in the race. It was such a black weekend. It sent Formula One backwards a long way. Um, Mentally, it was tough to get through. Not having dealt with that before. I ended up choosing to race on the Sunday purely because I felt the show had to go on. I had to do it for the team to lift them, and the next few races were very tough mentally for all of us. But like I said, we kind of got through it. Lots of things were learnt out of that year, and I would say moving forward, although unfortunate, obviously, to lose Anton and Roland, it probably saved a lot of lives in the way the sport responded to those accidents when it came to safety of the cars, the helmets, the Hans device, the track safety. Um, you know, for sure, that was the catalyst, I think, of a massive change in safety in the sport, which saved a lot of people's lives.
There's an episode in this weekend in Imola that I haven't found any answers and very small footage. That briefing meeting with the drivers before the race, and Senna was there
Yep.
trying to reignite the GPDA. And I assume that you were there too,
Well, he
along those.
was Ayrton was sitting right in front of me.
Wow. And what was the talk? What was he moving into? What was his intentions?
Um, it was a very obviously strange and difficult moment for Formula One. So the drivers' briefing, was very subdued. Obviously, safety was a big discussion. Um, and I guess the thing I remember most, which is kind of the is slightly different to what we're perhaps talking about, but I'd never seen anyone walk past in the driver's briefing and sort of touch Ayrton, and everyone that walked past all went and touched him like as if they were touching him for the last time. It was the most. I'm sitting there going, "What's going on here?" That's the bit I remember the most out of that driver's briefing.
Well, that's a bit unseen. I haven't ever heard about that.
No, no, I don't really talk about it much, but in terms of what do I remember most out of that driver's briefing, it was everybody walking past and putting their hand on it, and he was. You could tell he was shaken up by the whole thing. I was as well because I was directly involved in a sense, but you know, very very, very subdued, and I think a lot of conversations happened outside of the driver's briefing to stimulate the discussions with it. Well, I think with Gerhardt in particular about you know getting getting the body back up again and pushing safety with the FIA and so forth.